Chapter 3, we see Somyung drinking the apple juice as her mother says, "That's right, drink up." Somyung gulps down more of the juice as she worries about what will happen to her. Her mother continues and says, "That's it. Look what a good girl you're being, listening to your mother." She tells her that everything she says is for her and asks her, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" Somyung finishes her drink and sits there with a smile. The mother tells her that her daughter is very smart, after all, to which Somyung smiles and agrees. Now we see Somyung go out of the kitchen. As soon as she closes the door, she starts to panic and run. She runs to the washroom where she pukes everything out, but she explains that nothing actually happened that day. The only thing was that a very ordinary box of apple juice would appear on the table at breakfast every morning. Now we see at the brother's funeral, someone asking, "Are you okay?" We see that it was Seyun asking that to Somyung. She thanks him for coming there. He tells her that he had to make sure to come and asks where her mom is. She replies and says that she stepped out for a bit. Seyun looks at Somyung's hand and asks her what is in her hand and what's with the letter. She tells him that the brother gave it to her a while back. She brought it with her so it could be cremated with him, but she thinks that she can't put it in. Seyun looks worried and says that he can't quite say this because he's an only child, but Somyung and the brother were really close compared to other siblings, and tells her that she must be having a really hard time right now. She tells him that she didn't love her brother right from the start either. Just like a lot of eldest children feel toward their younger siblings, she felt like someone was taking what was hers away when the brother was born. She explains that when mom got pregnant with the brother, dad was still around. Now we see the past, where we see the dad tell Somyung that he has exciting news to share with her. He tells her that she's going to have a younger sibling and tells her to congratulate her mother. She looks at her mother looking at her and smiling. Now we see Somyung at the baby crib. As she looks at her brother, she thinks that babies are small and warm. She thinks that she's been feeling weird ever since the brother was born, and wonders if the mom is happy because she had him. We see the mom leaving the room as she opens the door. Suddenly, Somyung asks her if she's going to the brother's room. The mom turns around and asks her if she woke her up. She apologizes and tells Somyung that the brother is still very young. She asks Somyung if she would like to go sleep in her room, and that there's a lot she has to share because she's the eldest. Somyung smiles and replies that it's okay, and that she's fine, as she's a big sister now after all. Now Somyung explains that, on her birthday, once the brother was able to move around on his own, we see the dad enter as he tells Somyung that he got a cake from her favorite bakery. As they all sit down at the table, with the cake in front of Somyung, she looks happy and waits for everyone to finish singing happy birthday to her so she can blow the candles. Now when they tell her to blow the candles out, she leans in, but suddenly the brother blows out the candles instead, which shocks Somyung. The brother smiles and puts his hand into the cake and ruins it. The mother immediately comes and takes the brother away as she asks him what is he doing. The father asks if the brother is okay and if he got burned. As the father is asking the mom why wasn't she watching the kid, we see Somyung completely blank and sad as she sees her birthday cake absolutely ruined. Now we see that in the following years, she just lets the brother blow out all her birthday candles. The next birthday, we see Somyung smile and tell her parents that they should let the brother blow out the candles and that he wants to do it. The mother looks unhappy as she tells Somyung that she doesn't have to let him do that as it's her birthday, while the father asks what's the matter as she wants him to blow them out. As the brother blows out the candles, the mother asks the dad, what does he know about raising children to say things like that? The mother holds Somyung and asks her if she's all right, to which Somyung replies that she's fine. The mother looks at the father and brother and tells Somyung that the brother must take after his father, unlike her. Hearing this confuses Somyung. The mother looks at the happy brother and says that he's selfish, just like the father. Now in the present, we see her telling Seyun that's why she thought that she would live her life, always letting him have things, as she fidgets with the letter. Her hands tremble as she says that she thought that the brother was a selfish kid, just like mom said, and that she was different from him. Again, we see the past where Somyung is celebrating her birthday as her brother sits next to her. She looks at the brother after the song is done and tells him to blow the candles this time too, but the brother shakes his head and tells her no, and that she should blow them out and that today is her birthday. Hearing this surprises her. He hands her a letter while he looks embarrassed and tells her that it's a birthday letter for her. He tells her that he wrote it because he had spare time at the kindergarten and tells her to read it by herself. She looks surprised and tells him thanks. That night, while she's in her bed, she looks at the letter. She opens the letter and sees her brother's shabby handwriting. The letter reads, "Hi sis, happy birthday, My teacher says you get to blow out your own candles on your birthday, but you let me because you're nice. I'm sorry. You do it from now on. Thank you. With a little crayon drawing of her on the corner. The sister is surprised after reading this. She smiles and laughs at the silliness of her brother. Suddenly, now in the present, she looks at the same letter with despair and nothing but sadness. Siyun sits there, as he can't think of anything to say. Somyung tells him that the brother blew out her birthday candles, not because he was born bad, selfish, or beyond help. He didn't know, because he never learned better. She looks at his funeral photo, which is of him smiling brightly, and says that he was just a child. It was all a first for him too. She continues and says that she gets one thing now. Her mom isn't the type of person who'd accept that they're not perfect just because they're young. And if she wants to live as her daughter, she can't fail at all costs. Now she explains that the funeral was kept simple and the brother was cremated. We see the body go into the incinerator as she says that his body and her suspicions about her mom all had to be buried in the fire. As we see a welcome sign on a middle school, Somyung explains that in what seemed like a long and short time, her days in elementary school ended. Now we see two girls looking at the homeroom boards, as one of them swears and says that she got a shitty homeroom. The girl asks the other girl what's her name. The other girl turns around and says, Somyung Gil. The girl looks for Somyung's name on the board and tells her that they are in different homerooms, and that's too bad. She tells Somyung bye and that they should say hi next time they run into each other as she leaves. As the girl is leaving, Siyun comes and asks Somyung if she smells perfume somewhere. He asks Somyung if it's that girl's and who is she. Somyung smiles and tells Siyun that she got to know her at the entrance ceremony and that she's friendly. She tries remembering her name and says that she said it was Namsu Seo. Siyun looks at the homeroom board and says that he doesn't see many kids from their elementary school here. Somyung tells him that she likes it better this way. At least, there's no one to talk about her brother's accident like in grade 6. Siyun asks her, how are things at home these days? She replies and says that they are ordinary and things are so peaceful that it's weird. It's almost as if dad and the brother never existed. She says that she's going to do everything she can to get away from the mom. She clenches a book which says, All You Need to Know About Specialized High School's Entrance Seminary by Open Math Academy, and says that at least she'll approve of her for the time being. Now, at Somyung's house, we see that the mother is asking her, you want to apply to a high school for gifted children? And that her daughter is full of drive after just getting into middle school. She tells her that she is in the Korean Math Olympiad at the academy, and it's definitely doable. She starts thinking and says, what do we do? I'm sure it won't happen to my smart little girl, but I've seen some cases where the student expends all their energy at the specialized high school and doesn't get into a good college. She comes up with a plan and tells Somyung that if she gets straight A's until the first term of 8th grade, she'll help her with the application. She doesn't need that high of an average to get into a specialized high school and tells her to think of it as practice for getting good grades to get into college. Somyung happily agrees to this. 4 months later, we see a teacher tell the class that they've made a complete mess of the classroom now that the final exams are over. He tells them that they won't be able to laugh now as their grades are out and tells them to come get them, as he calls their seat numbers. He starts off with seat number 1, which is Somyung, who is the homeroom president. As she's getting called, she thinks that this is her first grades in middle school, and this will decide if she can run away from home or not, and starts to pray. She gets her grades and goes silent. Siyun tells her to hurry up and show him. He asks her how did she do, and if she thinks that she got all A's. Somyung shows her grades to him, which makes him say, holy crap, what the hell is this? He asks her what the hell is she going to do from now on. And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you,